Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Razak at CMTrading. Today is September 29th, 2015, and today is Tuesday morning. So looking at the markets, first looking at the economic calendar, two things coming up today. Consumer confidence number coming out of the United States at 4 p.m. South African time, and then at 9:40 this evening, GBP Governor Carney is going to be speaking, so that should affect the GBP today. So looking at the markets, euro breaking higher early in this week as the markets are falling in the United States. So dollar getting weaker against the euro, and the Dow Jones just selling off below 16,000, which is a major threshold for the Dow Jones. So we're at a threshold right here. Previous resistance level, previous support level at 12,645. So it should be interesting how we should be affected by what's going on in the markets. So all in all, we're still at the middle of the range here. We're making higher lows here, okay, compared to our 108 and 104, obviously. And we're at these lower lows at 111. These actually, this baseline at 111 is showing that it doesn't want to go further down. And like we said, we're still in a trading range. But if the markets in the U.S. continue selling off, I think we could even test this 116 again. Then it's not even a question. And then, if things progress throughout the year in a negative fashion for the United States, then we could go back to 119, 120 even for the euro. That's a little bit down the line, but looking at the way the markets are trading right now, the Dow Jones is trading at right now 115.86, sold off overnight. But as you can see, I mean, it's hurting, it's bleeding, okay? And we're really at a threshold right now, and another threshold of somewhat of a support level right now. We hit just last month, if you remember, at the beginning of the month, we hit, close to 15,124, which is a sick day. 1,000 points within, just 1 week. But as you can see, we're faltering, and as much as we'd like to go higher, we keep on faltering. This was the Fed announcement right here, where right before the Fed announcement, we rallied to about 16,930, and then we just completely sold off. So, all in all, there's lots going on in the markets. Just have to be on the right side. Looking here at oil. Oil pretty much baselining here at $44. It looks like it's going to go further down as it keeps on making these really bizarre, wedge formations, lower highs. I'm more inclined to think it's going to further go down. I think this was just this short covering and the fact that it's hurricane season in the East Coast. So, all in all, I think oil is going to continue selling off, but it remains to be seen. Looking at the DAX here, DAX is selling to 9,452. We're below 10,000, which is a major threshold for the DAX. Also selling off. So it's kind of funny because the U.S. markets are weak and the European markets are weak, but yet the euro is getting stronger versus the dollar. So it's a game of relativity at this point. What's relatively not strong or stronger, okay, not what's weaker, if that makes any sense. So it's really hard to gauge with the Forex markets right now which direction it's going to be, but you have a much greater chance, much better percentage play against the indices as they continuously sell off here. Looking at the USD ZAR, all-time highs of 14,011, excuse me, not 14,000, 14,011. As you can see here, we're at all-time highs here. We kept on retracing. Every time we retrace, we bounce. Every time we retrace, we bounce, and we bounce higher. So this is a little bit scary for if you're holding South African Rand, because your Rand has gotten much weaker against the dollar. So keep that in mind. You could always hedge it against and sell it to Rand versus the dollar, so that you're making money on the dollar and the depreciation of the Rand. It's always been a hedging strategy for protection against other currencies. If you're living on the rand and you exist on the rand, then it's no big deal. But as you can see, very few people do. Looking at gold here, gold, kind of faltered here and just hanging out at 1130. We took it up to 1170 and we retraced, 1160 and we retraced. So, altogether, gold hasn't really been a major play, but I guess it's been playing against the indices. So, it'd be interesting to see how the day actually comes out with this GBP number coming out later today. If we're going to falter further on this area. This major number that's coming out of the U.S. should have a major impact on the Dow Jones. I mean, if consumer confidence is still very high, then I could see ourselves bouncing back a little bit for maybe a reversal. But all in all, it looks really, really very weak. Looking at the Dow Jones, I mean, we're really, at almost all-time lows here for, a retracement of almost a year ago, and that happened in October. If we look at a monthly chart, you'll see we had this huge sell-off last year. What was it? Right here. This was a huge sell-off, and then we came right back. Only toppled over at 18,000. So, all in all, this was the sell-off last year. That was that big bar, this big V. Okay, but all in all, that was the big V, and it's hard. It's really hard to say right here. It depends on the news today, and just every time they bring it higher, they bring it lower. So, they just bring it higher in order to bring it lower. It just seems, but it looks like really very weak, and I think we're going to continue going down. This is Fred Razak at CMTrading. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.